In the scorching heat of the northern flanks of Kenya, approximately 375 kilometers from the capital, Nairobi, lies a small, dusty but beautiful town of Wamba. The town is nestled between the vast expansive semi-arid plains that stretch as far as the eyes can see, all the way to Laikipia Plains, which lie south of the town, and the majestic Mathews ranges that tower and dwarf the surrounding landscape, acting like a lush green backdrop that brings a sharp contrast to the desert-like plains below. Wamba houses about 7,000 inhabitants from different ethnic backgrounds in villages that dot the landscape. In September of 1887, an explorer known as Count Teleki and Ludwig Onal, commissioned by the Queen of England, embarked on a colossal expedition in search of the Black Lake known to the locals as Empasona Rock, later to be named Lake Turkana in the northern part of Kenya. The journey was a leap of faith to an uncharted territory faced with lack of supplies and dilapidating diseases such as yellow fever. They moved against the grain. The route will lead them to discover many hidden gems in unexplored parts of Kenya north. En route to their destination, the explorers came across a battery of mountain ranges called Ololokwe by its Samburu inhabitants. At first, Teleki named the mountains Mathews Chain in honor of Lord Mathews, who had contributed immensely to his expedition. The name will later be changed to Mathews Ranges. Mathews Ranges soars to an immense height of 7,200 feet above the lands below, stretching for about 150 kilometers from north to south. Ndoto Mountains lies to the north, while the famous bread-shaped Mount Ololokwe lies to the far south. Hidden within the huge fault mountains are streams and peaks, the highest being Warges Peak, which stands at 2,688 meters, and the Sweet 16 in the middle. Mathews Ranges stands poised in time. In the morning and the late evening, a blanket of moist-laden clouds blankets its summit. Below a tiny stream, the elixir of life flows from high up in the mountain, snacking through the tall trees to land below, supplying the much-needed water for humans, birds, and animals. The ranges have remained unchanged since the age of dinosaurs, untouched by human hands. The trees layered in the mountains have grown over time, making it one of the most intact forests in Kenya. Mathews was once a home to mountain elephants, lions, buffaloes, and different varieties of monkeys and birds. It was also a home to the now extinct white rhinos. Historically, the Ndorobo people, known for their short stature, were the earliest settlers to this serene landscape. For their survival, they scoured the surrounding, living off land through hunting and gathering. Economically, they were blacksmiths, making beautiful ornaments and weapons. Over time, the Samburu, known as the butterfly people, intermarried with the Ndorobo, and these communities lived alongside the wildlife that still thrive up to date. Mathews is a place of great mystic that ignites an unending passion to hikers and nature enthusiasts. The huge boulders protrude from the ground, creating an artistic aura morphing with the landscape. The newly constructed dam attracts ducks and migratory birds and offers a serene place for picnics on a clear day. In the shadows of Mathews Ranges, vast acacia trees surround the foothill, giving it a flame-like appearance. Adapted to the bone-dry environment, these trees thrive, and layered within its leaves are protein-rich ponds known locally as sagaram, which provides pasture, acting as a lifeline to the huge herds of livestock during the dry seasons of the year. As you climb up higher the mountain, the temperature plummets as a result of change in altitude. The composition of the forest also transforms gradually, giving way to the tall megalocarpus and cedar trees. The terrain also gets steeper, and the streams in this place of the forest have permanent flow with steeper banks. At this altitude, huge Columbus monkeys chip as they jump from tree to another. The forest is accessible through a thin and beaten path and routes occasionally used by elephants. As you move higher, the trees thin out, exposing the enormous rocks. And up there, winds gust at a high magnitude, seeping through the trees, creating one-of-a-kind symphony. Situated in the upper slopes of Mathews mountain range is a beautiful paradise known as Samburu, word which means the land of happiness. And this camp provides a world-class accommodation to the hikers who visit the wonderland. Lying just a few meters south of the Mathews range is the famed Mount Ololokwe, a sacred love-like a desert mountain which towers and justifies its role as a sacred place among the Samburu. Standing close to the mountain, two smaller mountains connect to it, forming a horseshoe around the valley. The Samburu deem this place to be the home of God and often visits it to pray for the rains. Stretching for many kilometers, these majestic mountain ranges act as magnificent landmark and lifeline to thousands of people, flora and fauna who live under its shadow, witnessing the changes in history and a dawn of a new age to the northern frontiers of Kenya. And in the end, the people, the wildlife, the mountain morph together to make this a heavenly paradise.